Whitney Webb continues to challenge mainstream narratives, exposing the connections between financial elites, government policies, and surveillance agendas. From Operation Warp Speed's hidden motives, AI-driven financial control, and political hypocrisy, Webb lays out why these stories matter. Let's break down some of her latest tweets. Grandson of the mob-upped Lou Wasserman. If you think organized crime disappeared and didn't just rebrand as philanthropy and merge with private capital, I have some books I can recommend. Webb suggests organized crime never disappeared, but evolved into philanthropy and private capital, pointing to Casey Wasserman's background. Sorry, but Operation Warp Speed was not an extraordinary accomplishment, Mr. Kennedy. It was a military operation to normalize mass use of gene therapies that previously couldn't make it through clinical trials and get them onto the market via an emergency deregulatory paradigm. Give CIA front Palantir access to American health data and mass welfare for corrupt big pharma firms at the public's expense. Whitney Webb argues Operation Warp Speed was a military-backed gene therapy push, benefiting CIA surveillance and big pharma at public cost. Here's a primer on what top national security officials mean when they say continuity of government. Attached, a post-tweet about a Black Hawk crash being part of a continuity of government training mission. Webb highlights government continuity programs that are often tied to covert military operations. For people saying Elon is trustworthy and USAID is bad, do you guys remember Elon's "we will coup whoever we want" deal with it statement over the 2019 coup in lithium-rich Bolivia that he was poised to benefit from? Even if USAID is completely dismantled, that certainly does not mean that regime change ops will stop. Oligarchs can just fund them directly. They largely control the controversial NGOs that USAID funded anyway. Sorry for raining on the parade, but handing over major government ops to intelligence and military-linked oligarchs is unlikely to be the win against the deep state you think it is. It is ultimately a deeper centralization of power, and historically that doesn't end well. Attached. Whitney Webb's own previous tweet reiterating USAID's intelligence connections and its restructuring under the Rubio-led State Department. Webb warns that dismantling USAID won't stop regime change operations, as oligarchs will continue funding them, leading to even greater power centralization. While it is true that USAID is an intelligence cutout that has engaged in financing regime change and other terrible things, I feel that the independent media focus on USAID being dismantled. It is actually just going to be rehoused at the Rubio-run State Department, is distracting us from the fact that Musk, who is trying to turn X into the everything app that he wants to run more than half of the US financial system, and which is launching payment rails this year, just gained access to Americans' private banking information via the Treasury payment system. The Everything app model, embodied by the infamous WeChat, is effectively a public-private app used to surveil people's communications and financial activity with often Orwellian consequences. USAID absolutely sucks, but we also need to keep our eye on the ball, as big tech oligarchs beget techno-tyranny and will do so very easily if we fail to scrutinize them and pay attention to the things they are, openly, building. Musk, in his new role, does not have to divest from any business interests, including X, and can easily use Doge or other means to fulfill his everything app desires and kingmake companies which he owns, controls, or in which he is deeply invested. Webb warns Musk's Everything app will control financial transactions and enable mass surveillance under a public-private model. Amazing how many people think I am simping for USAID. No, I am saying that USAID, which I believe should be dismantled, is the focus of hype around current Doge activities, and that we should also pay attention to the recent news that they just obtained practically every American's banking info at a time when the man leading Doge is trying to turn one of his companies, which he is not required to divest from, into a core component of the U.S. financial system. Nuance really has become a dirty word over the past year. Whitney Webb dismisses claims she supports USAID and urges focus on how Musk's financial moves intersect with government power. I tend to want to scrutinize the world's richest man whose family tried to implement technocracy decades ago and who is a major military intelligence contractor. I don't personally put him in the regular person who happens to have money category. Webb questions Musk's deeper ties to intelligence and technocracy rather than seeing him as just a billionaire. Team Tulsi and Team McCain LOL wait what? Attached? A tweet about Meghan McCain supporting Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation. Webb sarcastically reacts to the unexpected political alliance between McCain and Gabbard. Until Doge, or any other aspect of the Trump administration, meaningfully addresses FASAB S56, which literally allows the U.S. government to cook its own books to enable secret/black budget projects, I will remain skeptical that it truly intends to rein in runaway spending and the misuse of taxpayer funds. For more on FASAB S56, see this article or the work of @Solari the. Webb criticizes FASAB S56, a law allowing the government to hide black budget spending. Putting a regime change cheerleading neocon like Rubio in charge doesn't mean the corruption at USAID ends now. Quit being taken for a ride. Attached, a tweet announcing Trump appointed Marco Rubio as acting director of USAID. Webb warns. Trump's appointment of Rubio won't end USAID corruption. It's just a reshuffle. SIM swap fraud is sweeping the globe, and your mobile security is at risk. Switch to Ifani and lock out SIM swap fraud and get the most elite mobile protection in the world. Ifani guarantees 100% protection from SIM swaps backed by a $5 million insurance policy. Stay secure with reliable coverage, free international roaming, and unlimited data. Trust Ifani to keep your communications and assets secure. Get military-grade protection, 24/7 concierge service, and a hassle-free upgrade. Click the link below for $150 off. Thanks for watching. Help support this channel and receive exclusive offers from one of our partners located in the description. We'll see you on the next one.